What a fucking nigger. Jeez, oh my god, what the fuck? Sorry, but what the fuck?
Classic Mulder.
What a fucking asshole.
I'm sorry, but
I don't mean
I'm
that in a
sorry,
bad
but what the fuck? I'm sorry, but what the fuck?
Even though you're giving smaller amounts, the effects it has on the brain, like the desired effects of these, hallucinogenic effects, they're a complete mystery, and we don't know what causes them. It's very well that these are just random things based off of our subconscious and how our brain currently takes it in, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So when somebody gets start seeing there's people who go crazy and start trying to eat people when they take these drugs, and it's that's a side effect, that's a potential side effect that can't really be made safer, which is why I think most hallucinogens, or really any of them, shouldn't be made legal.
I'm on the fence about it. I'm on the fence about it. I just meant some of the lighter ones.
The research they have points completely against LSD.
I'm not talking
yes,
LSD.
It does.
I said shrooms.
Because shrooms and LSD are
I just know that there are some shrooms that are way less potent and that are really just giving you a high.
As someone like you, Jacob, who doesn't have any first-hand experience, my grandmother had first-hand experience seeing what LSD did to people.
In the short term.
What do you mean short term?
That's my issue. Is the short term effects are really serious.
Yes.
If it does something to you short term, that's way worse.
Okay.
It's actually pretty likely that my brother took shrooms once.
When it's decriminalized, then the government could set up safe spaces for LSD users, so they could have
but it shouldn't be.
So a doctor.
It shouldn't be legal at all because.
Yeah, but that costs a lot of money, especially when you have people that can go out and start attacking people, so they have to be restrained.
The government has someone watching them.
Can I tell you guys
no. When there's somebody watching them, that's the person who has to restrain them, and that's somebody the government has to pay, and then it's kind of like starting a park, but a really expensive
for not
park.
Being completely left-winged. Jesus Christ.
Left. What the fuck? Or maybe that is left. I don't know.
What you just said.
I'm sorry. It's just how you are on hallucinogen drugs is so liberal based.
Okay.
I just I don't like it.
Look, so
as in left as that's the ideology. One ideology that a liberal would have would be more open to drugs.
Let me refer to something that I'd like to refer to. So Portugal had this really,
which is why there needs to be a third party. Because there's a split, very different.
So, I want to say something about that.
No, piss off, Jesus Christ.
Okay, I'll say it when you're done.
So, Portugal had really bad drug problems, with everything in the book. And so what they decided to do is make them all legal, and if you get caught, you just get help. You get paid for help rather than.
It costs way too much goddamn money. We have so much stuff in America that we can be spending money on.
You're saving some money from not having to arrest all these people that do all these drugs.
Saving prison space.
Yes.
And, having to keep them in a prison.
They couldn't arrest every person. It was just spreading faster.
Much more money.
And so what they did, right? And this was expensive, but it's gonna help their country. They set up this program where you can get this free medical care for addiction, right? And that really helped the country.
There's no way that's right. There is no way LSD can be that much lower than tobacco because,
tobacco. You stupid.
No, right there, on that chart that you sent, wait, what the hell is this chart? Is this
harm to users, harm to others? That's
okay.
Users.
Why is it
others?
Oh, okay. Wait, so the tobacco is because secondhand smoke. The secondhand smoke, that makes perfect sense. LSD only affects yourself and possibly other people if they get involved.
Other people, because it's a hallucinogen drug, but it's not like PCP. You guys are
no, because
this insane stuff that actually makes them act physically. They don't. LSD people don't do that.
That's not true.
Just, lay down or
because
look, here's what I'm saying. If you keep it in your house, you're good.
My grandma has
Yeah,
stories
okay.
about like people that would do LSD and then harm themselves because of like you'd see like a fucking demon or something, or like you would like just like the weirdest stuff. Like LSD, like it's unpredictable because like it could be awesome. Like the
Okay,
fucking
and that
a default skin might appear and default dance in front of you, and then the next minute the fucking Satan is like dragging you into the ground and you start like screaming your head off.
okay, James,
Like,
that that chart was created by the Independent Scientific Committee on Drugs in the UK.
well, the UK is stupid because the UK still
It
the
was like
people the people in freaking Europe. There's a huge smoking problem, like cigarette problem in Europe, and
Especially in Hungary.
don't care. Like literally, people just don't care.
And to the Portugal
So
thing,
it's-
we don't currently have the public health infrastructure set up to support something like that. Which
Yeah, that's why
like
we set it up, right?
no, it's gonna take all. We can't just set this one thing up. We'd have to go the full dive into public health care, which I'm not completely against. I'm just
Yeah.
saying that it's gonna take a long time for us to get something like that
That's-
set up.
That might be what Portugal did.
So like
Portugal has had public health care for a lot longer than us.
I can
We don't have public health care, so of course they've had it longer than us. But
Jake,
yeah.
the thing you're saying about helping all the people in like a certain area, like that would make sense if like I don't know we had like all the goddamn money in the world, but like there's so much
we're in
stuff in the
America. We have plenty of
there's
money.
no we're in like $1 billion.
Yeah, we
in
have a
debt.
huge debt, and
Doesn't
it's
matter, honestly.
no.
Yes, it
Here's
does.
the thing with
Because
the debt.
We
Let
have
me
to
just
spend money
address
every year to go to that.
what I think will happen with this. It'll either hit us really hard at one point, which very likely will not happen. Like we're probably not paying off this debt. It's just a big number that's there.
No, it's gonna be a World War III over this freaking debt if it keeps
I
getting this
strongly
bad.
doubt that it will.
Well, then what do you think will happen? You think we'll just get like overtaken by China or something? Like I mean, like or
Okay,
some kind of
no,
compromise?
this is what I think will happen. I think
Yeah.
what's going to happen is it's just going to die off. Like
A
we're
debt
gonna,
just doesn't die off like with China. Like, does like what is it like $1 trillion debt or something? It's like some crazy number.
Going back to the LSD thing, Fortniters. Okay, so these guys made a study. At a dosage of 200 micrograms of LSD, which is quite a
Okay.
lot. The chances of people having like hallucinogens like of extreme fear and like the demons and stuff.
Like violent,
Yes,
violent hallucinogen.
violent trips is 86% for 200 micrograms, which is a lot. But at a dosage of 67 micrograms, it's 0%.
Well, you like
And,
the thing is like
45%
it goes
say-
up so much, and you can't tell me it doesn't because
But-
what people do when they get high is what
relax and
this guest speaker said is your first high is always your best. So what you're trying to do
oh my god,
is you're trying to always
chase the dragon stuff. I know, I was in that class.
Yeah. Like it's like some weird shit like that. Like you're always trying, and then it gets extreme, and like you do more, and I can see that's why it would eventually lead to that. Like if you did it
That's
for
why you
like
need government
long enough.
regulation.
Or you
keep
could
people
just
from
like,
trying
you could
stuff.
just like,
Jacob,
or you could just like
Jacob.
not worry about it all.
All right. So what I think what Jones is trying to get at is when you set these regulations, now people will see these as things they can openly go out and try, and now they'll try and reach out to that high, and they'll reach the limit, and then they'll start trying to get to the drugs illegally again, so that they can get the high.
Because it'll work for. It's like one of those things where it'll work for a while. It'll be like okay, and then it just won't work anymore. Like,
well,
and if you just like if you make it just completely illegal and you just like are strict about it, you kind of just like delete the purpose of it working and then it not working. It'd be so much easier to make things just not like if Congress just ruled certain things like this, like federal law, illegal or legal, it would make things so much easier. But the 60-year-old white man,
Yeah.
the 60,
okay. So like,
The 60-year-old
I know
white
I
men
bought
that are
that
in Congress
Portugal-
right now are holding that off, and they're pushing that off and leaving that to our generation, which is a very culturally divided
I know-
generation,
I know
to
I made
decide
that
which one to
point
do
about
that.
Portugal.
Which is why there needs to be a third party that rides the power and throws over the Democratic or Republican Party. And
Actually, okay. So
Look,
right now
I know I
there's
made
a
that Portugal reference, but like I don't completely agree with that. I think we should move something towards that.
so with the party thing, I just want to say real quick. So like, currently a lot of political scientists are realizing that a lot of the old, like the Republican Party is mostly like older people, and the Democratic Party is mostly like younger millennials, and
Yeah.
they believe that once our generation grows up into like the early 20s to early 30s,
mentally
that
mature.
the Republican Party will make a shift to becoming pretty much the exact centrist party, and the Democratic Party will move further left, and that'll be
God.
the battle.
Oh
That'll
God.
happen, and it'll be our generation will be the relatively conservative, even though it'll be mostly centrist, counterweight to the extreme left
I can actually
of the
totally see
Democratic
that.
Party.
I just don't want to think of SJWs going so extreme. I feel like it's gonna be, if it is like that. Are you telling me it's gonna be like the normal people are gonna be like adults in this new Republican centrist party, and then you're gonna have the weirdest like SJWs, like weirdos like on the left? I'm confused.
Okay, you guys are probably gonna get mad at me. I know James is.
How do you
telling
move
how
more
he's
left?
talking about this, but
Move more left. I
So
don't get
the term like SJWs and all this
social
stuff,
justice.
I've been learning like a lot about these systems, looking at both sides, and it's really come to me to the fact to where most people are not like that. Like, I think a really good example of this is BuzzFeed. So like, you guys know what BuzzFeed is, right?
Yeah.
They usually have a lot of slightly left-leaning articles, maybe some that are a little like,
Wait,
Yeah, those
I
are
don't
the
know
ones-
if this
Wait,
Yeah, those are-
slight?
No,
just
it's
a
not
little.
slightly.
Just
I have an
just
no,
let me
no, I have an
continue. You know what I
It's
mean,
mid
right?
left. It's mid left. I have we got a chart in AP Gov that has all the social media sites, and it has them like Infowars is under propaganda and lies on the far right, and then
Alex Jones.
is like 50% left.
Right.
So, wait,
So,
Which is more active.
anyways,
what's
so
the most
let me.
wait, hold up. Well,
No, I want to.
While we're on this, what's like the most middle? Like unbad?
You have NPR, BBC,
Yeah,
the
NPR.
reliable ones that you always hear about. Fox News is like in 40-50% right, and then you have stuff like CNN I think is slightly right
Wait,
What?
what?
Slightly
or
left.
left.
That doesn't sound
I don't
right.
know. I have a chart somewhere. I haven't seen it in like a month and a half, but I remember like the drastic ones.
And
Can I
MSNBC is like
All right.
really far
M-
left.
All right. So
No,
can I?
No, it's not that far.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
was like
Let
the
Harrison
farthest.
finish now.
So, right. So what it is like, most people who like we call a lot of people who would agree with the ideas that think people like BuzzFeed share SJWs, right?
No,
Social justice. No, you wouldn't.
dude,
Well, like the article.
SJWs, like,
No. Like
no.
the people
SJW
who
is
write
like
the articles.
the humongous, like that
Yeah,
woman.
yeah,
That's
like
considered
no,
like
no,
an extreme SJ.
I'm talking
A
about like the
stereotypical
BuzzFeed articles
SJW.
about things like manspreading and splaining and things like that.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
You know what I'm talking about.
That
Those
BuzzFeed.
SJW
That
articles.
BuzzFeed.
And most people like who actually follow BuzzFeed don't use those. They'll use like the quizzes and stuff. I have this whole theory about how BuzzFeed tried to indoctrinate our entire generation through those quizzes. I don't know. It's a personal theory. All right. If you want to hear, I'll tell you later.
That's fine.
But like, it's just The term doesn't really work that well because both sides can be accused of going too far and defending things. So what we would call SJWs, they would call bigots or whatever that, and both sides can be accused of that. But most people really just fall in the middle, and it doesn't really matter.
Okay, so Harrison, you said like millennials are really left. What about Gen Z? Because whenever I
Yeah,
talk to
that's-
people,
we're-
like they seem like they're fine.
We're
We're
Gen
They
we're
don't seem
Gen
like
Z.
they-
We're in the counterweight. We're gonna be like the centrist counterweight generation, supposedly. And like you can see that, right?
Yeah,
The
you know, there's
whenever I talk to people, it
we're
seems-
actually our 4 years in high school are like the transitional period where there's going to be a pretty even mix of both. But like
yeah, Miss
my
McKibben was talking about how like all the like the parties being so different is like in 20 years when all like the old 60s like white people in Congress
Finally
and like all that
die.
all those old conservative people like
Oh,
hard
finally, I
right,
fucking
old
hate old
gone.
people.
Sacks.
I mean, they are kind of pretty bad people, honestly. Like,
Pretty liberal.
Not all of them. Like
Yeah,
of
yeah,
course,
that
obviously
one-
not all
I
of them.
hate old people.
who's that one? Who's that one?
People.
Who's that one super chill black guy that went to Yale and he's on
Obama?
these.
Oh, bunga.
There's an 80-year-old
Oh, the doctor guy.
conservative guy. A conservative no, I don't think so.
The brain
He's
surgeon?
like, no,
No,
he's
He
like,
ran for president?
no,
Br-
no,
Bernie
No.
Sanders.
no. You don't even know who I'm talking about.
Ben Carson.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about.
Wait, is it actually?
No, it's not.
It's
He's talking
Ben
about someone
Carson.
else. Ben Carson is younger.
Black man, 80s
It fits the
president.
Black man.
I don't know.
I
Oh,
think-
do you guys? Okay, I know James and Jacob do. Do you know Katie Klinkenbeard?
Yes.
Right. Okay, so I was talking to her on the bus the other day, and she goes, "I hate Donald Trump
Clarence Thomas.
because he's
Clarence
a racist
Thomas.
and hates gay people, and that all conservatives hate gay people." And then I said, "What
That's the
about that?"
truth.
And then
Zach
I said,
Coleman
"What
said
about
that?
that gay Republican from New Hampshire that was on NPR that one time?" And she said that she doesn't believe he's actually gay.
Okay.
There's like a Republican senator from New Hampshire who's gay, and like she doesn't believe it because Republicans can't be gay.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
dude.
there's this 80-year-old black guy that's on the Supreme Court, and his name is Clarence Thomas, and he is very hard right, and he's like 80, and he's black. And everybody, I remember in AP Gov, everybody's like, "What? There's a black guy that's
And a
conservative?
I thought there could only be Democrats.
All black people are," which is a complete stereotype.
Yeah, no.
Kanye
But
West.
it is really common though.
Kanye.
It's really
Kanye's
common
my
for them
dad.
to be.
Yeah, I just looked it up. It turns out the Republicans have an entire organization for arguing for LGBT rights and maintaining them. So
Yeah.
it's called Log
I don't
Cabin
know.
Republicans.
Liberals are stupid, but like I don't. Even people on the hard. I don't know if liberals are stupid or uneducated about this topic or just think so low of conservatives, but literally hard right people, which I know multiple of, are very open of the freaking homosexual community. There's like nobody.
I'm fine with
Hold on.
LGBT.
There's a
lot of-
quiz. No, there's not actually. It's
Yes, there
actually.
is. There's a lot of people that don't like gays.
There was a quiz that we did in AP Gov on political spectrum, and what it turned out, people on the hard right that like are on hard right,
That doesn't show
80 I
anything.
feel like 85% of the people that took the quiz that were hard right for gay people, and then 15 people were just like kind of indifferent,
How many people took that quiz?
like thousands and
Okay,
thousands.
That's because most likely they're modern people, like our generation people that took that quiz. Because
I think
our
I think
generation
this
is
is
very
it.
accepting of gays, because like it's right.
So the
It's
the
fine.
generation
But, like,
above millennials,
yeah,
like
no,
the
yeah.
generation before
Gen
millennials,
Y.
like those are the people like I don't know if you got like guys seen some older movies and they're like, yeah, dude, fucking faggot.
Like
Like,
50
Caitlyn
that's
Jenner.
and up.
Caitlyn Jenner's a Republican. I had no idea.
Who
she's
is?
she's a Republican. Caitlyn Jenner, she's considered the most high-profile transgender woman.
I could care less.
Like,
I don't
ever.
like
Good for
trans
her for being
women.
Republican.
I don't like that.
No. I'm just saying. I was surprised. I'm trying to find this
All
guy.
Republicans can't be gay.
I'm
Nope,
against
they can't.
transgenders, fellas. I don't like that.
Jacob, I don't remember who posted it, but did you see the video that one of the accounts posted of it was like a male to female surgery, and it was like a 3D animation of them cutting the balls out.
God.
I'll send it to you. It was funny video.
What do you guys?
I
think
know it
about
sounds gross, but it was really funny.
I just think
Actually, you're right.
honesty is fine. And it's good.
It was really gross, but yeah, it's pretty funny.
It's hot take.
I think I liked it. I don't know.
Guys, check the trumpet chat. I forgot I had that.
Fuck.
No.
What?
I fucking
Me went fourth trumpet.
no, like the very bottom of what I posted. That's so fucking awesome. I sent that to Olivia.
I
And
need
she's
to go
like,
to bed.
I sent that to Olivia, and she's like, "That's the trumpet section of the picture."
I'm gonna go to bed.
Ew,
Good night.
dude,
Wait.
it's 11:30. Dude,
Yeah,
whatever
well,
happened to
I'm-
1 a.m. Discord calls? 1 a.m.
Guys,
Discord calls.
guys,
1
guys,
a.m. Discord
I
calls.
got another topic, right? I feel kind of weird bluntly asking this. But
Let's
what do you
talk
think
about-
transgender? What do you think about that?
It's fine.
Okay.
Do whatever-
if
do whatever
they-
the hell you
Okay,
want.
so
It's fine if they
I-
don't center that fact around their entire personality. That's all.
this is
I'm
this is
transgender, and it defines me.
this is gonna be really controversial, but I actually think that gender dysmorphia is a real disease,
I
like
agree.
a real illness. But I don't think it's one of those that needs to be treated or like its treatment can be seeked through the reassignment.
Yes.
Kind of like how we don't need a cure for depression.
It's
we
a
just
disease, but
well,
it's
that's
not-
actually
it's
that's
not
not a good comparison.
It's not a disability, basically.
We do get
It's
cures
just-
for depression. We have antidepressants.
Did you just say antidepressants? Or
Actually,
have you ever
so-
been on
Cure,
antidepressants?
not cure. Fuck, whatever.
I know. Okay, this is controversial too,
suppress.
but I consider like since it's a mental illness and like suicide rates and everything are higher and things like that, I think it could be classified as a disability.
Harrison with these hot takes.
And I
Yeah,
think
sorry.
It's
I'm
a
just glad.
disability we should do something about.
No, I don't
Kill
think that
the
we need to like
disabled.
burn them at the no.
Well, yeah, I
no,
don't want to
we
burn
just-
them at
I
the
think we just need to acknowledge that like their brains work differently than ours,
Yes,
and
but
that
doesn't
we
mean it's
need
a
to treat them with a different.
disability.
Yes, it
No,
does. It means they're
that's
human.
that's
That means
like
they're.
It means
I do not think that we should do gender change surgery, whatever it's called.
No, if
a
they request it,
disability
you
is
should
an
get it.
impairment
you
that may
should-
be
No.
cognitive, developmental, intellectual, mental, physical, sensory, or some combination of these.
If you want to
So,
act
It
like a
could be
boy or a girl,
cognitive and developmental disability, which then relates because they have different because of the way they think. And not all disabilities are there's Asperger's and things like that where they live normal lives and we don't need to worry about it. I just think that it needs to be classified as what it is. We can't just sugarcoat things because we want people's feelings not to be hurt. We're not going to walk
That's not
up
the
to somebody
reason why.
we're not going to walk up to somebody with autism and say, "Oh, you don't have autism. You're just you just don't like talking to people very much." No, you're going to it's respectful to say, "Hey, you have autism. I understand that, and it's not going to make me treat you differently. It's just a classification of what it is, and it can help people to treat things differently." or
Yeah.
well, like in a way that's respectful.
I ain't gonna acknowledge
But like, I'm
a
not
boy as a girl. I'm not gonna
really,
do
Jake. Come
I'm not gonna do that. That's fucked up.
on. It's not.
Most
It's
religions have the argument that
I don't like that.
most religious, I can see this, but like most religious people have the argument like, hey, God created you this way, so you should be that way, or hey, you were put on this planet with the purpose of being this, so you shouldn't change that fact. That's like the more like religious way of seeing,
yeah,
like
but
philosophical.
And
not all people are
and
religious that way, and
like-
some people are like just different.
and like
Okay.
outside of my church, I really don't care. But like inside my church, I would like say, hey, this is against what we believe, and whether or not they know that, I wouldn't really do anything. But I just like just let them know.
So like,
Really?
guys, okay, I know
Well,
we
yeah, that-
like
that-
You don't stand up for your own personal like.
Like
Yeah,
outside,
opinions.
like what? No. No, my own personal like
You don't stand up for what's right, basically.
I-
That's what I'm saying.
I believe that what's right is to tell that person that this is against my beliefs. But outside of that, I realize that these people don't hold my same beliefs, so I need to treat them with respect and be kind to them.
Treat them with respect, but in the same
Exactly.
same
But
It's all
if they're
about
going,
at the same
if they are,
time, don't
Logan
it's
tell
still
them
if
that
they're
you
going
agree
to
with them.
join. Listen, if they're going to join my
right, guys,
religion,
I'll be right back.
which is against what, and then do something like if somebody in my church is having like premarital sex, I'm gonna say, hey, there's an issue with this because this isn't what we believe in,
We, as
right?
in you, as well, but you don't actually
As in,
like. Do you actually find a problem with that?
I don't find a problem with it, but it's in our belief system that this isn't what, like, this isn't how you were put on the earth. So I'm
Okay.
not going to have a problem with that in a public sense, but like within my own religion, I'm going to say something about it because I disagree with somebody coming in and breaking the rules of my religion, if that makes sense. If you're not in my religion, then you're not breaking the rules of my religion
Oh,
because you're
okay. So
not
you're talking
held
about
to
like
those
okay.
rules.
You're talking about people in your own religion breaking the rules of that religion.
Exactly.
Okay, that makes sense. But
And
at the
some
same
of my
same time,
and
you shouldn't like adopt all of the rules of your own religion if you personally don't believe in them. Like, don't believe that they're right.
if you don't agree with your religion, quit it.
that's not what I'm
You
saying. I'm
still,
not
you can still
saying I
hold like
disagree
basic
with my religion.
principles of your religion.
I'm
but, like,
saying what my religion says. If you're a Christian, then you can't be transgender. Guess what? Most transgenders aren't Christians, so
exactly. So they leave that.
then I
religion.
don't.
Yeah.
Then I don't have to worry about that because I'm still upholding to my religion.
But if they agree with everything else in that religion, except the fact that they don't like gays or they don't like transgenders, that shouldn't be a problem or like a major problem of them being
What?
in that religion.
No, you're confusing me. You
Okay.
confuse me.
Um,
How you explain that?
guys, so like I know we meme him really hard, but I really like Ben Shapiro.
Oh yeah, I do too.
Yeah, yeah.
Everybody does.
Okay, so he's the one that really convinced me that
Gays are
I
bad.
am against. No, he doesn't even say that.
I know.
Does he?
Making a joke.
Yeah, no, it literally says
he's
in
the
the
one-
religion to love everybody.
He's the one that convinced me that like transgendered shit is stupid. Because no. Like here's what he said that
I'll
convinced
hear
me,
him,
right? Why would we acknowledge somebody as a boy or a girl when they're not? Like his granddad had schizophrenia. People didn't say that when he saw these crazy things that they were real. No, they gave him medicine and got him better. So we're not just gonna let this thing sit. We gotta like actually try to do something to work on it, not just abide by what they want us to say.
You're comparing someone with gender dysmorphia to someone with like Alzheimer's?
No,
Schizophrenia, it's a completely different.
schizophrenia.
Whatever, schizophrenia, I forgot what you said.
No, these people think that they're the opposite religion, and we're supposed to say,
I think gender
Yes,
dysmorphia is
you're
actually
right.
classified as a type of schizophrenia.
Well, it shouldn't be, because it's not. I mean,
And
It's just
It is though because
So,
it's believing in a
we don't-
false
look,
and
if-
a
if
fallacy.
this is a mental
I
illness,
still agree with that.
if they have gender dysphoria, right? We don't just say, yes, you're a boy, even though you're a girl. No, we try to make it better. We try to treat
Gender is different from sex,
Just-
okay?
it. This is bullshit.
There's
The whole
infinitely
thing
many
is such
genders.
bullshit.
There's fixed amount of sex.
There are
Do
not
you know-
infinitely
Do
many
you know
genders.
the difference?
That's
Do you know the difference between sex and gender?
gender is a social thing.
Yes, a social construct. Sex
You know what
is
else?
physical and in your cells. There's
That doesn't mean you
there's
can just
only-
change it.
There's only male and female sex cells. But
Like
there's infinitely
currency is a
many of
social
them.
construct, but I can't just walk up with this dollar bill and say it's worth a 20.
Haha, up top.
That's different.
That's different. It's literally the exact same thing. You're Jacob. You're
No,
losing
okay,
me.
Okay. Come
Come
on.
on, come here.
How is this? How is my argument like not make any sense?
Okay, what I missed?
I think the whole concept of gender is pretty bullshit.
Did I miss on the poopy pants?
We
Yeah,
started
you
talking
did.
about Ben Shapiro.
And then how
Oh, I don't know anything
gender
about that shit.
how they think gender and sex is basically the same thing.
Gender is a
Isn't gender
bullshit
just a
thing.
construct in sex, like whether you have a dick or a fucking vagina?
Yes.
Yeah.
Gender's just like a construct, like
Yes.
time. It's just like something that's just formulated over
I haven't like
time.
I don't-
studied.
I think you should respect someone's decision on their gender, but you shouldn't. Like
Unless
if
it's
someone
something like-
if someone says that they are
What-
biologically
okay.
a boy,
Okay,
that doesn't
okay,
make
wait,
any
wait,
sense.
Would you
You
make
shouldn't
fun of
respect
me?
that.
Jacob,
What?
Jacob, listen.
Would you make fun of me if
Respect
I
and
said
belief
I'm an
are two
Xbox
different
360
things.
controller? Would you make
You
fun of me if I said I was an Xbox 360 controller?
I wouldn't. I'd respect your decision, but it doesn't mean I have to agree with it.
You
You see,
respect this
respected
decision.
and
What is
I'm-
your pronoun, sir?
Controller, guys, I'm coming out.
I understand the argument you're trying to make, James, but it's different between like
No,
actual
but like you have these
genders
people that make up stupid
and
genders. Like
inanimate objects.
you have these people that are like, guys, my gender is I like fucking
gender fluid
fish.
toucan.
I like sticking my dick in fish.
Dead fish.
Dead fish.
Well, that's a sexual orientation. That's not a gender.
No, that's called fucking illegal.
Well, yeah.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
Yeah,
If
it
you
is.
buy
Yeah,
this
it is.
store, you can fuck.
Bestiality. It's bestiality.
That
Yeah.
is not.
Yeah.
That is a
Yeah, it is.
product.
What? That's a
can
good
fuck a
point.
piece of
Most
beef.
fish are
You
considered
can fuck a
products.
piece of beef. If you really want to, you can.
That's. I mean, he's not wrong.
I mean that's that's actually I'm gonna leave that to a tie. Not conversation.
Okay, libtard.
Like Emily.
I just don't understand how you wouldn't respect and also abide by someone's gender pronouns.
Sticking your dick in
I didn't
fish.
say I wouldn't respect.
not
I
a
said
matter
that
of
respect and
respect.
agreeing with something are different things. You don't have to agree with somebody to respect them. You don't have to agree
By agree, do you
that
mean
somebody shouldn't be in charge of a company. Like, you don't have to agree that our
No.
principal should be the principal to respect him.
Not
It's
even-
he
not
got
a
to
matter
his
of respect.
position.
I think the
Not
whole
even
Like the
saying that.
president.
thing.
I'm
I think
not
the whole
saying
thing
that.
Yes,
about
it
gender
is.
is
You
stupid.
just said.
What I'm saying.
I
You
think
just
the whole
just
thing
no no
about
no
gender
no no
is
no
stupid.
no. Go, wait, Jake. Can
Honestly.
you? Jake.
It's
all right,
like the
listen.
president,
Jacob.
right, Harrison? It's like
Jacob, no, no, no.
What?
Wait, listen, Jacob. You just assumed because Jake said he wouldn't. He doesn't agree with it that he wouldn't respect somebody's decision.
Jake, would you respect somebody's decision and then call them by their pronouns they want?
No, I would not.
Exactly. I was right.
Well, actually, okay. Let me change
Yeah,
my
but you were
mind on
assuming
that.
that
No,
for
okay,
all
so
of us.
You know, I wouldn't want
I
to,
was-
but I actually don't want to start a scene. So yeah.
so like the
Exactly.
known
So
as
you don't
Oliver
want to.
in the color guard.
I don't want to, but I will not start a scene over it. If
So, no,
Yeah.
Jake.
I'm not gonna start this huge argument
Jake.
with some random person, but I completely disagree with what.
Jake, I want to hear your thoughts on something. There's a transgender sex. Her sex is a girl. She has a vagina, but she is transgender, and she's in the color guard. And Her name is what she likes to be called is Oliver. Now, would you call if you saw her like
I don't
him?
know if that's a her or a he.
It's a gender.
I've always been
it's
confused.
bisexual.
It's a transgender male is what she wants to be identified as, but she is a woman, like sexually.
This is what I'm saying. I would not start a scene out of it. I would collar it to avoid a scene, even though I completely disagree with it.
That's still kind of wrong, but like at least you respect you respect him enough, like to.
Because
Something. Like
I would
respect,
compare it to
I
the
guess.
president of the United States because, like, you don't have to like them as the president, but he's the president, and if you
So
don't
you give him
respect that,
respect, yeah.
like, well, he's the fucking president. He won fair and square. There wasn't any cheating involved. It's not like we're that fucking
People
vulnerable.
say cheated. It's kind of stupid. But yeah, I don't like that whole thing. I don't feel strongly enough to start a debate over it every time. If somebody says they want to be called by something, I'll be like,
I don't think I don't know enough people that are transgender to make like a valid opinion like, hey, this is stupid or hey, this is weird. I only know like a handful of people and I got nothing wrong with them so far. They haven't done anything to me and they're not like repressing their shit on me. So like
I just disagree with the concept of it. I'm not gonna hate somebody just because they're transgender. I'm not gonna do that. But
like fucking Elliot.
I'm not gonna like support. I don't know. Like one of the things that Ben Shapiro did is he was brought on a show and they were like discussing whether this one person should get an award of bravery because they announced that they were having like transgender surgery or something like that. And I don't think it should be like worshipped. Okay, honestly, I think it should just be there.
I don't. Yeah,
the whole
I
definition
agree with
of
that.
gender.
I don't think it should be worshipped or praised. I think it should be normal.
The whole definition of gender has just changed over time. It used to be gender and sex were a synonym.
Yeah.
Like if you'd gone back like 100 years ago, but now it's changed. Like on a driver's license. On a driver's license, it says sex, not gender. It says sex, male or female, referring to whether or not you have a dick or a vagina.
Exactly.
Now,
So okay.
while having a gender has become more of like a construct of what you want to be perceived as, whether that be your sex or something different. And that's this whole like that's become more of a thing in the past like 30, 40 years.
And it should be because it's becoming more prevalent, like people having, you know, in their heads a different view of their like gender.
I think this stuff has been around for a long time. It's just now it's becoming. I think it's just because. There's a time for everything. There is.
There's always a time for megalovania.
Harrison, we're like in the middle of a conversation about like serious shit.
Hey, look, sometimes we need to take a break from all this tension, alright?
Yeah, I was just trying to take a little tension break.
I'm sorry, guys, if you guys are tense about this is a very calm political debate, if you haven't noticed.
I was referring to Jacob. Jacob sounds like he's freaking out over here.
It's just.
I'm perfect. This is very like calm.
It just pisses me off. People like.
Jacob's mad that we won't identify him as a toucan.
Oh my god.
A gender fluid toucan, dude.
Okay, gender fluid is bullshit. I wake up one day and I'm a female, and then the next I'm a male. That
joke.
Jesus Christ.
Well, I mean, like
joke is
you
really
can
funny.
you can say it's bullshit because it's stupid. Like if that's what somebody wants to do.
Even Jacob agrees on this.
It is
Jesus
Christ.
No, just because it's stupid. Like you can say transgender is a stupid concept, but that doesn't mean like you have to be rude and not respect the person. They're still human beings, unless they're furries. Furries are not human beings.
That's something I can get
I
behind.
mean, they want to be dogs, so
So
treat them as one.
That's the point.
I say we fucking euthanize every single goddamn motherfucking one of them.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Yeah, me
fucking
too,
start
me
a
too.
Hitler
but, like,
revolution.
when
I'm gonna
we
start
talk
the
about
goddamn
respect,
anti-furry party. I'm gonna fucking kill every single
Like,
6 million
Jake,
goddamn fucking furry.
when we talk about respect, like
Jake,
if
read
I'm just acting normal to somebody in public, but like when I still disagree with their decision,
Here,
like,
if you
know,
can't
is that not
understand the
respectful?
Jake,
if you don't understand the definition of the modern use of the word respect, think of the word disrespect and think of the opposite of that. What would you consider disrespect? Being rude, like rude to somebody, but like being like respectful to somebody is just acknowledging that they're like there and that they're like
and like
re-
they're what
it's
they are
interesting.
is like legitimate.
Like they're
It's
still human.
yeah, and it
Well, yeah.
them being a different gender. In
Yeah,
their
I know they're
heads
human.
doesn't make them any different as you or me.
Look, I guess I just disagree with their decision and the whole concept that this is a thing.
But you respect that they're still like humans
I
and
will
they
treat
can
them
make
like
their
a
own
normal
decisions.
person. I
You
would,
can still disagree with their decisions, like, but like it's
yeah,
there's a
yeah, I will
fine
disagree
line.
with their decisions
Yeah.
and the whole concept
Or
of
thin line, I mean.
transgenderism, but in like, I will treat them like normal.
But like,
Well,
just
then
gonna
that's
cause like
considered respect in modern terms, sort of.
Conserved
like-
respect? Okay, well then
like
I guess I have conserved
it's just
respect.
gonna like start brewing like I guess like a deep down thing in people, I guess. That
Now, if you want to see the
is
perfect definition of respect, watch Logan Paul's vlogs from December of 2017.
Okay, look.
He treats
Right.
he treats
like,
the
Jake,
Japanese
you're
people
probably
very
gonna like
much.
start actually disrespecting them if you have that thing in your head.
Like if
that
you
Right.
have that
don't agree
mindset
with them.
and you
Yeah,
see
like
some,
mindset.
if you have that mindset and you see somebody and you like think it in your head, say you like slip out and then like let's say some girl wants to be identified as like a him or something, and you're just like, oh, so like, and you say like his and like slip up and say
That's
her, which
fine.
I did that last year with fucking Oliver, on accident, like multiple times actually, because I knew her in 8th grade and her name was Ash. I never said the word Ashley because I never went that. But I remember kids in skills of success. She was like, "Hey, does anybody know who her is?" And I was like, "Yeah, she's in geometry, making up a T." And I'm like, "Oh, my bad." I just like
Exactly, that's
and
fine.
Mr. Wolf.
As
I know
long
Mr. Wolf has made that exact same mistake before. Because there used to be this transgender clarinet that actually got a full blown sex change, and like when she was like 16 or 17, and I think it was a he that turned into a, it was the other way around. And basically they got a complete name change, like like official name change. And in class one day, my sister told me about this instead of my mom. He called her by their old name, and they had like a breakdown. Like they were like super offended.
and Jake, how you reacted to that is like the thing I'm kind of talking about. Like you went
Yeah,
to
I
the
know.
fact that he was, transgender.
I know.
He's transgender because if he's retarded, he has
I don't like the surgery.
transgender.
Those gross me out.
Honestly, yeah, I it doesn't gross me out, but like it shouldn't be
Yeah, it
done
doesn't really gross me out.
at this age. It should be
Yeah,
18.
yeah, for sure.
So Jake,
Yeah,
I don't get.
Okay, I don't think anybody like under the age of I don't even think 18 because your brain isn't fully developed.
There needs to be a
I think
set
it should
date.
be
There
at least
needs to be
21.
like a
21.
set, like 21 or like 23. Like because for honestly,
I know that's a
time
big
would be the
portion of your
perfect
life
age.
for some people to live with like these feelings and where they kind of just hate themselves.
Yeah,
but
but
like
25
they
is-
really need to get to a point where they're developed and realize the kind of decision they're making. 'Cause
Guys
this
are
could
fully
be-
developed at
this isn't-
25.
This isn't something that you can just go, you know what? I think I've grown out of this now. I realize that maybe I was
You
just
need
taking
time.
these complicated feelings a little too far. I don't actually feel this way.
Exactly.
Except you already went through with the surgery, and now all of a sudden you're like 25 and you hate yourself again, but there's no going back because you already had the surgery once.
I feel like 25 would be the perfect date for both genders because that way.
I don't think 25 is too long, man.
No,
Yeah, I
you're
think
wrong,
22. I know the male
No.
brain is fully developed to 25, blah blah blah. But these long and like there's a lot of
But if
studies
you
that
make
say
it,
that
if you make it 22 for
long-term
women, there'll
decisions
be
are like
discrimination, and then there'll be blah blah blah. We're not equal. Shit. So just make it like 24 or 25 when everybody's fully developed. That way you don't have any arguments over, oh, I got fully developed first because my gender or something shit. Because like girls fucking develop faster because they go through puberty when they're like fucking 10.
Nice.
actually they go through puberty later. They just go through it faster. They start at like 12.
I thought they went through slower.
Which is actually it's
I thought
about
it was slower. They go through like at 10 and like all the way to like 17 or something.
Pretty
And
sure
there's-
Jen was there.
boys do a lot more growing in the early stages, and then the actual sexual and mental maturity takes a lot longer to get to.
I know mental takes to like 20, 21, right? That's why the
Mhm.
fucking and then like
Some a lot of people like
Harmful.
there's actually a
Alcohol is
good
harmful.
it's like 50% of guys don't actually get their penises to start growing until they're at least junior and senior year in high school because
less.
sexual development takes a long time.
Wait, how
For
do you
guys.
know that?
Health science.
Where did you learn that in
Yeah.
health science?
wait, so are you
Not
are you telling me
specifically that.
that
We were talking about
isn't gonna get any
adolescence, and
bigger
it's
until-
just one of the statistics that was like in the
Okay, how did they get
That's
statistics for
internet.
stuff like that? I
That
just
doesn't
don't
make any
understand.
sense.
they ask people.
Are you
Really, they
telling
just
me
take
my
surveys?
penis has been the
Your
same my
doctor
entire
measures
life?
your dick. What do you think he does? You think he's just reaching down there for fun? He's measuring that shit
No,
for science.
I have a question, Harrison. That doesn't make any sense because, like, you can't tell me my penis from fucking 6th or 7th grade has not gotten like extremely large, like way
Oh,
larger
okay,
because
okay.
of puberty.
No.
That's just when it
I mean like.
starts.
I mean, it'll grow, but it'll some guys don't experience like a big growth spurt. Like, some guys might be like the 4 to 6.
Well, those guys are
and then
fucking
pop up to the
twinks.
8 until
Well, they're
they're
twinks,
like,
and
later.
I'm not a twink.
How
So
does? I'm not. No. I'm not. I'm saying that they go through the process a little later, and this happens
Well,
for
they're
a
Were you about
lot
to
of
say
guys.
I'm not a twink?
I'm not a twink.
No, I was gonna say that I'm not calling anybody a twink.
Nice.
I actually like for my age, I went through like dead average right when I was supposed to. I wasn't early. I wasn't late.
Yeah, I'm gonna see if I can find the thing. I'm not gonna send it. I'm just gonna read it. Okay, so I can tell you what it is.
Harrison.
I have caps lock
Fortnite's
on,
pretty
so it
cool.
looks really weird.
So does armpit hair just keep growing forever?
Where's the
Like,
I mean,
Is I have a question.
I don't
Is
know.
Sell
armpit
your
hair
armpit
caused by
hair.
testosterone? Is
yes,
Sell
testosterone
it.
okay?
it increases
Like
in
facial
like
hair and armpit
places.
hair.
Yeah, testosterone is why like facial hair and stuff happens.
And
She
armpit
can
hair.
fuck
Okay.
small children.
Ooh. Don't expose me like that, dude.
I'm sorry.
What? Wait, what?
Nothing.
Just we're just gaming. Don't worry.
Just gaming.
Just gaming as usual.
Hang on, I'm trying to find it.
Huh? I still see your armor in my chest. Can't take back the diamonds I gave you.
Lelouch Britannia commands you shut the fuck up.
Ha! You don't have direct eye contact, bitch.
Actually, that's why my profile picture is that cunt.
Well, I'm not looking at your profile picture, cunt.
Bull. I'm looking at your weird profile picture. Who is that?
I don't know, some Google image blue hair boy. Anime boy.
Would you look up cute anime boy?
I looked up blue hair anime boy.
Why blue hair specifically? Is that like a
Because I
fetish?
love blue hair. I considered dyeing my hair to blue instead of
Okay, hold up.
really hard.
Hold up. I don't like transgender people, but I think dyeing my hair is okay.
7th grade, James.
Jake
okay?
Smith.
I'm glad
Jake
that I
Smith,
did.
everybody.
This was when I had edgy long bangs that went down to my chin.
Yeah, that was weird.
That's really interesting. How could you be like okay with being emo, but not okay with like the transgender fucking community?
James,
No, I'm not
come on.
okay.
James,
7th grade.
Makes sense to me, bro.
James, 7th grade. I'm
your
not
hairstyle
okay with it
defines your
now.
political ideals.
No, but he was like
It
emo.
does.
I
But like,
was.
I'm talking about
Key term
stereotypes here.
was. I hate myself in
Obviously,
7th
not
grade.
all emos are freaking transgender accepting, but like, you know, transgender.
Don't
I
judge
can tell you right
people
now.
on their appearance.
James,
Dude,
I didn't
emos
have
are
any
more
views on
bestiality than
anything
transgender.
until 9th
Change my
grade.
mind.
Okay? I didn't have
All I
any
heard was
views until
transgender
9th grade.
bestiality.
Oh, dude, no, I'm for bestiality. That's some good shit.
See, I told you, emo people are all about that bestiality. Fuck transgender when
We've
you
been
got
doing
that
it since the
bestiality.
Roman Empire.
What people?
I don't remember Mr. Hughes talking about that one. Are you sure that's politically correct, Jacob? I think that's politically correct. Don't you mean Greece?
Oh yeah, also that. Like even before Roman Empire, yeah.
Yeah, I had a phase in 8th grade where I just watched bestiality porn. It was pretty epic.
I hope you don't.
I had a
I
phase
really
at the start of
I'm
8th.
not joking.
hope- Oh great.
Wait,
I've watched everything. I've had
Yeah, you
phases
told me
for
about that.
everything.
watched anything. He told me like that he's like,
All right,
You
Tell me
name it,
which
and I've very likely watched it.
This isn't the same one
Enjoyed
because it's
it.
in centimeters, but
Enjoyed it? I mean, yeah, I kind of did that to it. So,
wait, are you telling me Jake Smith likes Fudanari but doesn't like transgender people?
I had a
You're
Fudanari phase.
Fudanari?
I had
Holy
I had a
shit.
Fuda phase
Let me
for
finish.
Hey, what's wrong
Let
with
me
that?
finish. Let me finish. I bet he's. Let me finish. What I was thinking that was absolutely
this.
hilarious is this is what Jake would say. He'd be like, well, transgender people aren't hot, but Fudanari chicks. Damn.
I like.
Yeah,
Alright,
but
guys,
that's
guys,
not
stats.
transgender. There's a complete
Guys,
difference.
stats. Fudanari, 1 week. Gay, 1.5. Lesbian, 2 weeks.
What in
Those
eighth
were
grade?
those were my
Talking about?
phases. Those were
Those
the
were
phases
yeah,
where I
phases.
watched that stuff.
Like how
Uh-huh.
long?
Yeah, like how
Okay.
long? Like he was like he observed it, not really like not. He just like observed it, not really like liked it per se. He was
No,
like,
I kind of did. No, like just for a week, and then I got sick of it.
Wow, freaking epic.
Bestiality was like 2 months.
Whoa.
Whoa.
okay, I'm really glad you're recording this, Jacob.
Shit.
That's going on my cringe compilation.
Can we just have like a separate clip that says Jake
Snap.
Hentai? Jake Smith, political views.
I'm glad we're just the boys joking around right now.
Just the boys. Oh my fuck.
This is
How did we go from food and how did we go from
We came from
political
LSD.
ideology?
LSD.
How did we go to
We came from a drug
LSD, the
talk
food
to
and
food
All
and
right. You know what? I think we need to stop talking
No,
politically. I think no, I really do. I think something's going on. This is not good.
No, I
This
think
is
the
epic.
main point of this, is everything circles back to Fuda. Everything.
Everything done.
Everything.
I don't
This is
want
so
to.
epic.
I don't want to clap, but I kind of feel like I
You
need
should
to.
fucking clap, man. He just tied everything in the world together.
I mean, that's so true. Is that not like that's
World hunger,
true.
Oh,
Fuda.
James.
Transgenderism, Fuda. Okay?
What?
Drugs,
Oh, never
Fuda.
mind. This is different. This is
Drugs,
different.
Fuda,
I thought.
dude.
Remember
Arbor's
that?
like tripping on LSD, and he's like, "Guys, there's this hot Buddha chick in front of me."
Huh.
Thief
That's true.
Simulator. Wait, is this like the full? This is, isn't it? Jacob, remember the very like cunning thief or whatever it was?
Cunting thief. Ha ha.
Coming.
Coming.
Cunning. Cunning. It was like.
Dude, he's coming. He's coming for you, baby. He's coming for you.
Do you remember the very organized thief?
Yes, I remember the very organized.
I
doesn't.
think the people that made that made like a full on. No, they didn't. It's different people. Never mind. But there's like a game a lot like it that just got released, and it's like really popular.
Oh, yeah.
I like how we just have a voice channel. The voice channels in the server are so good. I swear, it's Pub Gay, Gamer Chat, Minecraft, Cunt, Timeout, my personal favorite, Casual Conversation, Trumpet Practice Station. Which why the hell are we in the trumpet practice?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Practicing early. We were practicing earlier, remember? And then we just started. Dang.
Oh, we got, dude. I'm making a politics chat and other stuff.
What the fuck? No.
Ooh,
nice C.
That definitely wasn't the C concert.
All right, guys, here we go.
Did you know that you can't?
But we're having a casual conversation. We're not talking
Political hentai debate.
Cool and hentai. Oh.
No.
Did you know that Did you know you can't develop perfect pitch past the?
No, I didn't.
Political and hentai gamers.
Political and hentai
All right,
debate.
let's talk about the political situation of the
Let's talk
Britannian
about
Empire.
political Futanari. Is it legal? I'm very disappointed they removed the lolly tag time. Haven.
Oh yeah, I'm so pissed about that.
Yeah, I
actually couldn't
will.
care less.
I didn't get to learn how to use tags until it got removed.
Really?
Dude, what are you, a fucking beta male?
Yeah,
Are
I
you
just
like a
used the
fucking beta
phrase.
male?
They use the tags?
No,
Dude,
I
I bet
learned
you
how
go,
to
like, the most-
eventually.
I bet you go,
Isn't
like,
that like the most
popular.
memeable shit? Literally, the most memeable shit is the tags on Hentai Haven. They're
Yeah,
so
I know.
retarded.
That's great. And once I found tags, I was like, this is so amazing, but where's the lollies?
That's what I'm saying.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. We really need to stop talking about this because we've still got like just under 3 weeks.
For what? Oh, yeah.
So
December
what?
1st, baby.
What happens December 1st?
That's the end.
What? What?
Jacob, are you going all the way?
It's all over.
You're gonna be like so backed up. It's gonna be like a fucking suit.
What's December 1st?
It's the end of.
I can't hear you over fucking Jacob.
Do you know
It's the end of the triple N.
Yeah.
What's
Oh,
Wait,
yeah, he's not participating, so.
what's the triple N?
Come on.
Just
dude.
tell me.
November.
Oh, duh. Fuck.
November.
Dude, I failed first day
No Fortnite November.
at like 12.
The SAO.
No SAO.
November.
Yeah, I think it was SAO.
You told me it was. Like,
Yeah,
like
Yeah.
on November
Oh.
2nd, you said, like, yeah, I failed the first day.
You think that's bad?
You know
told me
you were
that-
allowed to get back in. You just had to go all the way to December.
Can I
1st.
tell them about the
Yeah.
thing you told me in gym the other day? The thing about
Oh.
I'm gonna send you one word, Jake.
Guys, what I think DDD is way harder than MMM.
Oh, I do Fibonacci. The Fibonacci December.
What? What's that?
You know Fibonacci's number thing?
Fibonacci
Damn.
sequence?
Check your
Yeah,
DM.
that one. Fibonacci
Yeah.
I don't remember what that
December.
is.
Colon?
It's like goes to 1, 1,
I don't know how
2,
you spell
4,
it.
and then like it just increases like that.
Oh.
2 and
Oh, that's not it.
Why are
you
you
know?
saying colon cilantro?
That's auto.
Colon cilantro.
Or
What are you saying? Colon cilantro?
hold
I'm so
on,
confused.
I don't know how to spell it, bro.
Wait, Colin from
Uh-huh.
Code Geass?
Yeah, heard about
Yeah. Wait,
No
you want me
shit.
to tell them about that?
it. Sure, yeah. I'm not saying it. But
What?
Okay,
Is
yeah,
that
yeah. Tell him,
Undertale?
Jake. Tell him.
Okay, it's not that big of a story. It's just like
I
after
think
I'd
it's pretty
watched like 2 or 3 episodes of Code Geass, I watched my first Code Geass Hentai. Or not watched, I read my first Code Geass Hentai. It's pretty good.
Big
With
man.
Colin.
I don't know who Colin is. I'm gonna have to look.
It's this
Red
pink.
hair girl.
Yeah.
Red hair
not
nightmare
pink,
girl.
Red. Oh,
The thick one. The thick one.
Is she thick? Is she really thick?
I think she's
Oh,
the
is that
thickest one.
K?
She's
What
the
a-
thickest girl on the show that's not.
Dude, Cece.
She's
Just a
it
fucking
spelled
green haired
with a
alien
fucking-
fuck.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
hot.
this girl. The fucking resistance lady. Yeah, it's literally alright, so if you look it up, right? If you look her up, it's like literally
Wait, Jacob, did you hear
scroll
what
down
Jake said?
2 images and they're straight up there's just
What
a
did Jake
link.
say?
Oh my god. Jacob didn't hear you.
After watching like 2 episodes of Code Geass, I read my first Code Geass hentai.
Oh, God, come on.
Jake, I found Okay.
Okay,
I
It was
really
with
I really
Colin. It
need to
was with
turn
Colin.
safe
if you
search
really-
back
okay,
on.
If you really don't have that much control over your like bodily instincts, then I really think
Sorry, I just got
I really
excited.
should not watch Darling in the Franxx. Just don't watch it.
No, you just shouldn't watch Darling in the Franxx at all because it's a gay show.
Well, I watch it for the plot.
I do
Well,
because it's an
well,
amazing
Dude,
story.
that's what Tess says.
well.
No. That's what Tess says about hentai. I had a conversation with her.
Yeah,
She says
did
that's why I
say
watch
that.
hentai. It's for the plot.
That's 'cause
Nick,
Oh my
Nick
god,
said
that's
that
epic.
Nick said the same thing.
I
He
wish
said
I
there's
did.
some
No, but
really
Tess
good.
is serious.
Nick
Tess
said
is
there's some
serious.
really good stories. Tess doesn't joke about things like this though. That's the issue.
Yeah, that wasn't a joke. Tess was being serious.
One day,
That
oh,
reminds me, I've got something I wanted to
that's
send to
big.
you,
I
Jacob.
never
if I-
watched. That was.
Oh no,
I
it's
still
just
have
one of
scars
those.
from it.
Guys, remember the picture of Diva?
I love it.
Disappointing.
I'm just
Jacob,
gonna send
remember
it to
the-
you.
Disappointing.
I sent Jacob. I sent it
Jacob,
to
do you
you.
remember the picture of Diva?
The Harrison.
Harrison, do you remember the picture of Diva?
Viva?
Diva
Oh,
Fortnite?
Diva.
from Overwatch in June.
hmm
Guys, this is so sad.
Dude, Jake would have freaking saw that picture and like instantly nutted.
Wait, let me see it.
Oh god. Please don't look for it, Jacob.
Please.
Swear to God,
send it to
if
me,
you post that in
please.
the Trumpet Discord, I will be so disappointed in you. I mean, we do have an NSFW chat. Creative art.
No, that's not an NSF. None of these are. These are
Yeah,
all
creative
fake.
art. Creative
Nope,
art.
these
is
are all
NSFW.
fake. These are all fake.
9/11 gets a
Omo
day.
notices
for
Unsama's skirt
These were all fake.
up, allowing me to gaze
Oh,
at her
Yeah,
wonderful.
remember when you kept fucking adding the not so bot, and I told you not to because people could look up porn with it.
Oh, I remember that.
All right.
Wait, can we look up some hentai, boys?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna play hentai noises from the bot.
Yeah, send Jake the picture of Diva. He'll really like that.
Okay, that's epic.
What?
What Harrison
What?
sent me.
Oh yeah.
I bet it sucks.
I bet
I
it
love-
sucks.
Classic reference only us real gamers understand.
It's the Monsters Inc. thing is my favorite sound effect. The
Yeah.
I bet it sucks. I love that. I love that so much. Okay, Jake, so basically, no.
What?
We were talking about, I basically called Jacob's hentai taste trash. I was like, dude, I fucking taste is garbage, and I said, I
Oh,
bet
yeah.
it sucks.
Yeah.
And then he sent straight up like the fucking worst picture of hentai I've ever goddamn seen.
All right, boys, I have an idea.
And there's a
Thank
picture
you.
that Harrison took on his
Thank you,
mic.
Jacob. I
It's
screenshotted. That's so epic.
Oh god, why is Harrison calling me? Do I pick up?
No.